While attending Blogging While Brown 2013 in New York City, I took in some of the sights like the World Trade Center, checking out some of the neighborhoods with the gorgeous brownstones. You can't go to New York without catching a subway to Brooklyn and enjoying a slice of cheesecake from Junior's. You know, when you're in New York, you're walking here and there. And why is it that just ordinary people seem to just strike a pose? And yeah, that's a bottle of Hennessy at our feet. But we ended up in Harlem, where the event was held, where there's the Apollo and Sylvia's and the Magic Johnson theaters. We stayed at the gorgeous Aloft Hotel with its spectacular interior. I didn't come alone, as my blogging buddy and fiance joined me, and we started our arrival in New York with some Spanish culture with food, music, and libations. That little statue on the wall was whispering to me to pace myself, to make sure I get some rest, because I had to show up the next morning at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. That's where the event was held. And down in the American Negro Theater, where the event was kicked off, you see photos from over 80 years that the center has collected, preserved, and provides access, documenting Black life and promoting the study and interpretation of the history and culture of people of African descents. What an amazing place to be, to learn the business of blogging. As I took my seat, got out my computer, my cameras, my recorders, my everything else, the event started off something like this.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Gina McCall, the founder of Blogging While Brown.
Okay, enough of the small talk. The session started with Lamar Tyler talking about stop thinking like a blogger and think like a business. It went like this.
Well, if you're blogging, if this is what you're passionate about, why are you not able to make a living from it? Why is it not sustaining you? It's probably some different things you can do that hopefully will impart you here this weekend, so when you leave, you can start doing those things, get in motion, so that you can really be living out your life's passion, doing what it is you want to do instead of doing what it is you have to do, which is what most of us end up doing. If you leave here and you don't walk away with actionable items, you wasted your money. You wasted your time. You probably wasted other people's time too, because you probably asked other people some questions. They're sitting at the table with you, and you might be blocking them from whatever they need to receive from the stage. So I want you to leave with action items that you can actually implement on your way home. Not even wait till you get home, but if you have a flight, if you have a train ride, you need to be on that train ride, on that flight, working towards the things you learned this weekend, so that when you get back home, you can hit the ground running.
Sometime he let the slides do the talking, like, some of y'all are not where you want to be in life, yet you party every weekend. What exactly are you celebrating? Says T.I. From there, these two sisters talked about how creating content online can create financial opportunities offline.
When you start talking to other bloggers, you really find out the real deal. When you find out really not that many people, the majority of people are not making an income off of advertising. So I had to totally rethink what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, because I want to blog. I love to blog. It's my passion, but I also want to make an income off of it, and that's the real deal.
And then some information on a beauty blog. And that wrapped up the first morning session, and it was time for a change. It was time to eat. We got some wonderful box lunches, sat outside, got to meet some new people, chat and chew. She's a lawyer, but she's not our lawyer. But boy, did she share some great facts about all that important legal stuff that bloggers have to be concerned with when keeping it real goes wrong.
Like the panel before me talked about, you can make a lot of money doing endorsements.
What about endorsements versus promotions?
Now, product reviews and recommendations, you can do those. If someone gave you a product and said, hey, can you review this for me? You just need to be truthful, be fair. You don't have to necessarily disclose, but if you're being paid to give any review or endorse anything, you have to disclose your connections or affiliations.
What's NWA have to do with anything?
Y'all got all this on your blog. You got how your blog looks when you come. Anybody a fan of Lovey? You come on, you got that big red, awesomely Lovey across the top, right? And her face in cartoon. You got a name of your blog. Music on the album means content in your blog. You guys are pushing out content every week that is original to you, that's copyrighted. You may have photographs on your blog. Maybe you took those photographs if you're a photographer. Maybe you stole them from someone else and didn't have a license to put it on there. Maybe you have some logos on there. Maybe they're your logos, maybe they're someone else's. Maybe you have a tagline, like the dopest blog ever. I don't know. But all that intellectual property is also in your blog.
Hope you're watching Nisi and Seti and that hilarious show, The Soul Man, that's broadcast on TV Land. 3 TV Land execs came to engage with us bloggers. It was interesting. These ladies representing ad agencies are the direct connect between blogs and the corporate brands, which can really generate a lot of business for bloggers. But we were warned of this.
There's always a tension in the blogosphere.
Oh yeah, it got a little ugly and heated and somewhat shocking, but we're adults. We gathered, we talked it out, and we went on to the Aloft for the evening festivities, which consisted of a Colgate-sponsored white party. After a long day of learning about the business of blogging, it was all about the business of partying as we got dressed up, listened to some great music, and sat down with some people that we've known from years before, some people that we were being introduced to for the first time. We were both inside and out, just meeting and mingling. It was a good opportunity to rub shoulders with some of the superstars of blogging. What I love about this conference is many of the speakers don't just come and collect a check. They hang around and enjoy the sessions like they were paying to attend as well. Okay, so we start the next day with a little food, and yes, the Soul Man is back. The agency that handles all the media, they set up a screening, and we watched the first episode of season 2. That is one funny show. As we gathered in the Langston Hughes Auditorium, our fearless leader, Gina, wanted to set the record straight from yesterday.
For those of you that were at the Business of Blogging conference, you know that I spoke in the morning about offline synergy and how important it is to be authentic, to have integrity, and to be liked and respected by your peers. You also know that yesterday afternoon, another speaker took the stage and proceeded to openly disparage my reputation and to, in the face of what I spoke about earlier, make me out to be a fraud. I did not have the opportunity to address her or those in attendance publicly yesterday, which in hindsight is probably a good thing because Gina, who was snatching mics, I would have probably been joining her as well. But I did speak to the individual after the panel. She said she made a mistake, she was wrong, she thought something and she made a mistake and she said my bad and she said that she would tweet an apology.
It got very touching and emotional from there. What I love about the leader of this organization, Miss Gina, is that she cares about each and every one of us. She wants to make sure that we have an intimate experience, that we learn, we grow, and that we respect each other. I love you for that, Gina. AT&T is on a mission to get us to stop texting and driving. They brought a simulator that was pretty convincing as to the dangers of texting and driving. They also gave out some door prizes, of which I won one, along with this young lady. Thanks, AT&T. I've got a new friend at Comcast. She's very interested in learning the black habits of us TV watchers. Marcus Robinson blew us all away. He's from Interactive One, and he gave a technical presentation showing us web-based tools, many of them free, for analytics, metrics, and usability. We also heard from these two brothers about mobilizing your blog and your brand. They say that when your blog needs to take a shift, clean it up. Someone had mentioned in a tweet during the weekend that this is one of the only conferences that you can just have somebody presenting and no one's looking up at them, and it's okay. The technology in the room was astounding. Everybody's just down on their mobile devices or computers, tweeting and texting and Facebooking and social media-ing. Is that a word? Beyond Facebook and Twitter, we learned about Google+, Pinterest, and Instagram from these ladies. You know, this session gets a little intense, so every now and then you have to step out in the hallway and just check out a vendor before regrouping. Scott and Lovey are two of the most successful bloggers out there. It's only fitting that they would get together. I don't know if it was the topic or the presenters, but that was a popular session.
I have 3 backup batteries here.
Right.
And then when I don't have enough power in the backup batteries, I keep Brother Tech with me. Brother Tech has a backpack that is just power.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
If you have a Facebook page, you should have a custom URL. So you just go to facebook.com/username to get one for your
Yes.
page instead of facebook.com/pages/numbers and blah blah. So, but yeah, this has been a mini version of Ratchet and the Geek.
This has been another episode of Ratchet and the Geek.
Yes.
Yeah, my radio voice.
Right.
One of the really difficult things when you're coming to blogging about brand as a white man is to decide which fictional HBCU that you want to represent. like Higher Learning, it was a good movie, but Tyra was, you know, and then School Day is too controversial, so I represent Hillman.
Consistency is key. So it gives people a schedule. And honestly, it does help people actually create a routine out of your blog, your podcast, them knowing that at a certain point it's going to drop.
What better way to teach podcasting than to do a podcast during your presentation? They showed us techniques, equipment, and fancy little waveform things. But it's all about Scott and Lovey. What a great team. And a wonderful way to demonstrate collaboration and partnerships. Everybody has a voice. Even organizations use blogs.
And so I'm going to talk a little bit about a specific example of, from Bring for All and how the execution of how we use blogging in one of our public education campaigns on communities of color and climate change, and just show a little bit how the blog worked in the holistic effect of our campaign.
Bloomberg Business Week released this cover. How many of you saw this cover? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the first bad thing about this cover is just how racially offensive these images are, right? But the second worst thing is for the cover to suggest this narrative that people of color are profiting from this housing recovery.
I just think it's great that organizations like the NAACP are using blogs in order to make their message more relevant to more people. Event sponsor BlogHer gave a presentation on professional blogging opportunities. And these two sisters gave a presentation on how to get the money, the new way, crowdfunding. What an interesting concept. You know, there was a little tension this weekend wondering what's going to happen next year. Where are we going to be? Well, this was the time that it came through. Yes, sir. New York City again next year. And then the closing panel. Empire building. Yeah, these are the giants in the industry. Well, after 2 days of blogging while brown, it's time to rethink possible. With a party. What else? Some folks chose to stay at the party, but others went across the street to the Magic Johnson Theater to enjoy a special screening of a movie coming out later this month, July, Fruitvale Station. TheGrio.com did a wonderful recap of Blogging While Brown 2013 and made mention of all the women that were there. But as a guy blogger, us guys like to stick together because there's strength in numbers. Some of us are even larger than life. We enjoy the camaraderie. And let me tell you, we certainly enjoy learning from each other. When it's all said and done, we're going to let our blog do the barking. Blogging While Brown. I didn't go to every session, obviously, but for those I did attend, I tried to capture them here. I'd like to send a special thanks out to the sponsors who made it all possible to make us look like a star. And to our fearless leader, Miss Gina, go ahead and get your rest now. We had a ball, but in reality, at this point, the ball's in our court. See you next year in New York City.